In the lonely countryside of northern England, where fog swallows the moonlight whole, stood St. Augustine Psychiatric Hospital, a building forgotten by time. Its towering spires pierced the sky like gravestones, and the cold wind carried whispers through its cracked windows. The locals said the hospital was cursed, that those who entered rarely left the same. On an autumn evening in 1903, a carriage appeared on the gravel road leading up to the gates. The horses refused to go further, stamping nervously at the ground. From the back stepped nurse Evelyn Grace, a young woman in her 20s with steady hands and kind eyes. She had been assigned to replace a nurse who'd left unexpectedly. No one had told her why. The coachman hesitated. "Are you sure, miss?" he asked. "That place. People say it remembers the dead." Evelyn forced a small smile. "Hospitals are full of ghosts, sir. Just not the kind that scare me." But as soon as she stepped past the gates, a coldness wrapped around her like a shroud. The sign above her, St. Augustine Psychiatric Hospital, swayed in the wind, screeching like something alive. Inside. The corridors were long and narrow, lined with gas lamps that flickered uncertainly. The air smelled of bleach, medicine, and something metallic, like blood, left too long in the open. Every step echoed as if the walls themselves were listening. At the reception desk sat Matron Wilkes, an older woman with a face carved by years of silence. She barely looked up as Evelyn approached. "New nurse, are you?" The matron said, voice thin and brittle. "Yes. Evelyn Grace, ma'am. They said I'm to take over Ward C." The matron's pen froze mid-stroke. "Ward C. You'll find it quiet there." Something in her tone made Evelyn pause. "Quiet is good, isn't it?" Matron Wilkes finally looked up. Her eyes were empty, her smile colder than the marble floor. "Quiet," she said softly, "isn't always a blessing here."
Isn't it? Quiet isn't always a blessing here.
Ward C lay at the far end of the east wing, past 2 locked doors and a staircase that groaned under its own weight. The patients' rooms were empty, beds stripped, curtains torn, walls stained with water and age. A single desk stood in the corner, covered in a layer of dust. On it sat a stack of letters bound with yellow string. Evelyn untied the bundle. Each envelope was addressed but never sent. The handwriting varied, some elegant, some wild, some barely legible. They all came from former patients of Ward C. As she read, her expression changed from curiosity to unease. The letters spoke of things no sane mind would write, whispers after midnight, figures watching from corners, hands reaching out from under the beds. But what chilled her most was the final line that appeared in every single one, written differently each time. "They come when the lights go out." At first, she dismissed it. Hallucinations, delusions common among asylum patients. She folded the letters neatly and placed them back. But when she turned to leave, she noticed something else. The air had gone still. The wind that moaned through the broken panes stopped. Even the faint hum of the generator seemed to vanish. The silence was absolute, too perfect to be natural. Then, faintly, she heard it. The squeak of wheels. Metal on stone, slow, deliberate. Her lantern flickered. "Hello," she called out, her voice trembling despite herself. "Is someone there?" No answer, only the sound of a wheelchair rolling across the corridor, coming closer. She raised her lantern. The hallway was empty. Dust floated lazily in the beam of light, but the sound didn't stop. It passed by her, unseen, and then faded into the distance. Her breath quickened, and then the generator sputtered, coughed, died. Darkness swallowed the hospital whole. For a moment, nothing moved. Then the whispers began, soft, hissing. Layered voices filled the black air, like dozens of people speaking from behind the walls. The words were unclear, but the tone was unmistakable. Pleading, angry, desperate. Evelyn backed against the wall, clutching her lantern that no longer worked. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. From the corner of her eye, she saw shapes, tall, uneven, bending shadows moving along the corridor. They weren't cast by any light. They moved on their own, their edges trembling like smoke. A single voice rose above the others, close enough to feel its breath on her cheek. "We've been waiting for you." Evelyn screamed and ran toward the stairs, stumbling through the dark. Her shoes clicked against the tiles, echoing endlessly as the shadows followed, whispering, laughing, dragging metal behind them. She burst into the matron's office, gasping.
Matron!
"Something's wrong with Ward C. The letters, the lights. There's someone down there." Matron Wilkes didn't look surprised. She simply closed the large leather ledger before her and said quietly, "You read the letters, didn't you?" Evelyn froze. "How did you?" The matron stood slowly.
You read the letters, didn't you?
Her face was pale, her eyes distant. "Those letters weren't written by patients."
How did
"What do you mean?" Evelyn whispered. The matron walked to the window, staring into the fog. "They were written by the nurses, the ones who came before you." A chill spread through Evelyn's body.
Before me!
"Before me," Wilkes nodded. "Every nurse assigned to Ward C disappears within a week. We find their things, but never their bodies. Only more letters." Evelyn stepped back, her voice trembling. "Then why send me there?" The matron turned, her lips trembling with something between guilt and resignation. "Because someone must take the night watch. Someone must keep the lights on." Before Evelyn could speak, the lights above flickered. The faint hum of the generator coughed, then went silent once again. Matron Wilkes froze, her face drained of color. No, not again. From deep within the hospital, the sound began, the same wheels screeching across the floor. Louder this time. Closer. Evelyn backed toward the door. "Matron, what's happening?" Wilkes didn't answer. She just whispered, "They don't like the dark." A crash erupted down the corridor. The office door rattled violently, as though something massive had slammed into it. Papers flew off the shelves. The gas lamps shattered one by one. Evelyn grabbed the lantern from the desk, fumbling to light it, her hands shaking uncontrollably. The matron stood frozen in the corner, whispering prayers that dissolved into sobs. The door creaked open on its own. Beyond it, darkness. And in that darkness, the faint outline of a wheelchair. Rolling forward slowly, Evelyn's lantern caught a glimpse of what sat in it. A woman in a nurse's uniform, skin grey as ash, mouth stitched shut. Her head tilted unnaturally as she turned toward Evelyn. Then, from the shadows behind her, dozens of figures appeared, all nurses, all pale, their faces distorted and eyes hollow. Each clutched a letter in one hand. The whispers rose again, clearer now, overlapping, deafening. "They come when the lights go out. They come when the lights go out. They come when the lights go out." Evelyn dropped the lantern. Flames spilled across the floor. lighting the office in a trembling orange glow. The matron screamed as the ghostly figures surged forward. Evelyn backed into the wall, unable to move, unable to breathe. The stitched nurse in the wheelchair reached out her trembling hand, cold, bony fingers brushing against Evelyn's wrist. The instant they touched, the lights flared back to life. Everything vanished. The room was empty, silent. The matron was gone. The wheelchairs were still. Evelyn stood alone, shaking violently, the taste of iron on her tongue. The letters lay scattered across the floor once more. But now, on top of the pile, was a single new envelope, clean, white, and sealed with red wax. Her name was written on it. She tore it open with trembling fingers. Inside was a single line, written in fresh ink. "Welcome home, Nurse Grace." The next morning, orderlies found the matron unconscious near her desk. The office was in ruins, but there was no sign of Evelyn Grace. Only her uniform folded neatly on the chair. And beside it, a bundle of letters tied with yellow string. Matron Wilkes, pale and shaking, added a new entry to the ledger. Staff record, Nurse Evelyn Grace, assigned to Ward C status. Transferred. She closed the book, rose from her chair, and looked toward the east wing. The faint sound of a wheelchair echoed once in the distance, followed by the soft rustle of paper, and then
Hello?
silence.
Is someone there?